Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Special Sevens. Today in our episode we have Indra and Meenakshi is joining us as a special guest. Thank you for being part of our show. Today the topic that we are going to explore is waves and surfing. Indra, in our recent trip to Maui, you were able to surf. How did you enjoy the experience?
It was fun.
Nice. So you are able to surf because there are waves, so it's called catching the wave. Why do you think there are waves on the ocean?
Because the moon controls gravity on Earth and it makes waves.
That's a very good guess, but not exactly. The moons control the tides, controls how much water goes in and out of the ocean, not exactly the waves. But we will explore that more. Meenakshi, why do you think there are waves in the ocean?
The wind is also a factor for the waves, right?
Wind is the main factor, or sometimes the only important factor. You are exactly right. So, why are there waves? Because of the wind. Now, if you look into the screen, what is happening is there is a wind coming in from the sea into the land. As the wind is traveling above the surface of the ocean, there is this part called the fetch, where because of gravity, the wind moves the water and starts a small ripple or a wave. That wave, as it travels, gains more amplitude and speed, and it becomes a wave and it propagates and ends in the shoreline. So there are a few different types of waves called as the capillary wave, the gravity wave and the swell wave. Capillary waves are ripples that are caused by light winds. The waves are also small. Gravity waves are large rolling waves that are caused by strong winds. And swell or long distance waves caused probably by storms far away. Sometimes they even travel the whole length of the ocean. There are also some special types of waves. One such example is a rogue wave. Just like the name specifies, this is caused by some rogue activities, like many of the smaller waves joined together, or there was a severe storm, and
Ship crossing, something like that.
Say that again, sorry.
So when you're actually in an ocean and then when a ship crosses or some sailboats go by,
I don't know if that will cause a rogue wave. Rogue waves are really rough, and for example, there was one recorded that was 84 feet tall. That's almost like a 7-story building. I don't know if a ship would cause that. That was recorded in Norway, by the way, and that wave is called as the Dropner wave. So there was a sensor that was floating on Norway just to record the waves, and this sensor was able to capture the height. Until that point, rogue waves were considered a myth, and after this recording, it was proven that there are rogue waves in the ocean. In Euclid, BC, which is in Vancouver Island, very close to us, there was a wave recorded that was 58 feet in November 2020. That's probably why Euclid is a popular surfing destination. The other one is Tofino. In fact, Tofino is Canada's surfing capital. Tofino is also in the in British Columbia, and it's in the Vancouver Islands. We have been there once, and you guys were small, Indra and Netra, but we will go again and explore Tofino and surf the local waves as well.
I heard when we were in the zipline center, so there was a surfing competition going on in Hawaii, but that was in Oahu. And there was one particular wave which happened inside Maui, and that was the highest wave, and it stayed like that for like a few hours. It seems like 12 hours or so. The wave stayed. It was so high.
Wow.
And then the pictures came perfect out of Maui than the surfing competitions. That's what the guides were discussing there. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So That's interesting. Probably because of strong winds, right? If you think about why wind happens, why does the wind have to blow from the ocean into the land? Any idea? It's because of the difference in the temperatures. So when we were in Movi, the local guides were telling, go to the beach early in the morning, it is much pleasant, right? Not in the middle of the day. What happens in the middle of the day? The land warms up much faster than the water. So when the land warms up, the hot air from the land rises above. So now there is a pressure here. So the cool breeze from the ocean comes into the land. That is the reason of the wave. That's why in the morning, when the temperature of the land and the water are almost same, the wind is less and the waves are less and the beach is much nicer. Perfect. So moving on, we are going to look at other factors that influence the wave. Like Indra, you mentioned tide at the beginning. Tide, yes, it does influence the wave, but it doesn't cause the wave. Tsunami causes waves, and current, here the sea current, where the water flows inside the ocean from one part to the other part due to difference in temperatures or things like that. That also influences the wave. Tsunami is a very interesting wave, very devastating one as well, and that is caused by a big earthquake or a shift in land mass under the ocean. Sometimes even a volcanic eruption under the ocean can cause a tsunami. So if you look at the picture there, you can see the difference between a tsunami wave and an ocean wave. The tsunami wave travels much faster and is much higher, and it does not go into this circular tidal wave pattern. It just rises and washes over the shore. That's why it's more dangerous. One of the interesting things that happens before a tsunami is the silent drawback. The whole ocean goes inside. Whenever you are at a beach and you realize that the water has gone in much inside, much further, then that means something big is coming, right? It's almost like the boxer withdrawing his hand back. That means a big punch is going to come. So be careful. Get out of the danger area. The speed at which a tsunami travels is sometimes about 800 to 1000 kilometers per hour. That's almost 3 or 4 times the speed of a Formula 1 car or the speed of an aeroplane. The tallest tsunami wave that was ever recorded was 1720 feet in Alaska in 1958, quite a while ago. The recent tsunami wave that happened was in 2004, where an earthquake in Indonesia caused the tsunami waves, and they reached up to 100 feet. That affected lots of countries like India, Sri Lanka, and many countries. There were a lot of deaths as well. So, why do the tsunamis or the waves rise in height as they get close to the coast? That is called as shoaling effect. Shoal, which is the coastal area, or the sea floor, you can see in the first image, it gets shallower, right, as the wave get closer to the land. So it's almost like 2 trains, or the wave, let's imagine it's a 2 train traveling on top of each other. When they hit the sea floor, the bottom train has to slow down, and that forces the top train to rise. Just for you to imagine, I'm telling you. Or another way to imagine is think of a cloth curtain when it is fully extended in the window and when it is fully closed. When it is fully closed, the ripples are much higher, right? You guys get what I'm trying to explain? Yeah. So that's why the waves, when they hit the coast, which is called as the wave breaking, they rise in height.
Right.
And that's the sweetest part for the surfer, because they like tall waves, right? So surfing The history of surfing traces back to the Hawaiian people, the Polynesian people. They were the first surfers. And the first surfboards were made by a special type of wood that's from a tree called as koa wood. So, but as of today, all the new boards are made with fiber and glass. In the top image, you can see how the waves break when they reach the surface. The waves are much shorter before, but when they hit the coast, they break and they rise in height. On the left hand side, you can see an image of another surfer surfing with a dolphin, and you see how the waves curl and almost look like a pipe, right? This is called as a pipeline wave. Riding a pipeline wave is a dream of any surfer. Is considered to be one of the toughest things to do. So surfing became a part of Olympics. It debuted in Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Yeah, since it was a sport even before that, but first time in Olympics in Tokyo.
They'll create this artificial wave since then?
No. They will choose a area where there are waves closer to the hosting nation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Many questions, but yeah, it's good.
So what if a country hosts Olympics and they don't have a proper place to conduct?
Yeah, and then what if one wave is different from the other one, and how would they judge?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good questions. I think each contestant is given a set of time and they are judged by the best waves that they catch and so on.
Okay.
But it's an interesting topic to explore. I do not know the rules of how they judge them.
Yeah.
But apart from Olympics, the general record or the Guinness record is held by Rodrigo Coxa. He rode a wave that is 80 feet. And that happened in Portugal. That location, Portugal, also holds the second best record. It's probably the best place to surf, where the waves get much higher. So there is also a little bit of science behind how a surfer is standing on a wave and how he is able to ride it. On a high level, it is based a little bit on Archimedes' principle, where the board displaces the same amount of water as the weight of it. And it's also dependent a little bit on Newton's law, how the surfer has to stay on motion until it is broken. Yeah, interesting. Maybe we'll explore that much deeper later. Moving on, we come to the part where I ask you a question. So Indra, why do you think the waves in the middle of the ocean are not so tall? Any idea?
Because they only get taller when the wave breaks, and in the middle they're still like getting taller. They're not the highest point yet.
Okay, you're getting closer. Do you want to add some points, Meenakshi?
It's just starting from there, and there's not much wind there. So it's gaining as it travels.
Okay, that's a fair answer as well. But the one that I was looking for is the depth. The ocean is deep, right? There is no ocean bed for the wave to be broken. So that's why the waves are taller in the shallower parts, which is the coastal lines. So all these good surfing places, they have a nice beach where the water is not so deep, so the waves have a longer distance to be broken by the shallow grounds, and that's how the waves rise. Even places where there are coral reefs, those places are also good breakers of a wave and good surfing locations. Okay, now it's a time to test your knowledge. So we spoke about this, no ocean bed to break the wave. Let's move on to the questions now. Which of these factors could affect a wave? Give me 1 second. Which of these factors could not affect a wave? That should have been the question. So, which of these factors could not affect a wave? Is it the ocean current, tide, rain, or wind?
The rain.
Rain, exactly. Rain is not going to play a big part on the wave, but if the rain is being caused by a storm, then the storm is actually affecting the wave. As such, the rain does not affect the wave. Correct. Okay, where is the surf capital of Canada?
Tofino.
Yeah,
Correct. Tofino, BC is the surf capital of Canada, and it's a nice place to surf where the beaches are also very shallow. But the water is cold. We have to be wearing a bodysuit. Yeah. Where was the tallest rogue wave recorded? Portugal, Australia, South Africa, or Norway? Norway, right. Norway, the North Sea especially. That's where the highest rogue wave was recorded. When did the Indian Ocean tsunami happen? 2002, 3, 4, or 5?
2002.
4.
2004 is correct. So when the tsunami was happening, interesting backstory, we were in our college and we were just finishing industrial visit, and we were coming back and our bus was driving the shoreline. It was very busy and crazy, and we could see how the shoreline was affected. Luckily, we were not...
Pondicherry was also affected, right?
Yeah, Pondicherry was affected. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
And luckily we were good. Our bus was good. We made it home. So in the image you can see where exactly the epicenter of the earthquake happened, close to Indonesia, and how far each of the tsunami waves traveled, right? Yeah. Okay, last question. What material was used to make the initial surfboards? Koa wood. And who were the initial surfers?
The
From
Polynesian.
Hawaii.
Yes, the Polynesian people. Yeah, this wood was very buoyant and nice to work with, and that's what they used to surf. And that's the koa tree. And it is a native species, meaning it's only found in Maui. Hawaii.
Do they still make surfboards with koa
Yeah,
wood?
I saw one person with this board, and I was wondering why is it different from the other, and he was a native as well.
Oh, nice, interesting.
Yeah.
At least for all the competitions and Olympics, they are now using the fiber and the glass boards.
Which is better?
I would say those boards are better to surf. Yeah. They are probably much lighter than the wooden boards, but that way it's also better we are not cutting the trees. Yeah. That brings us to the end of our episode. Hopefully all our listeners and you, Indra, you learnt about why waves happen, why there is wind, and the science behind surfing and so on. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We will meet you all again in another episode with another interesting topic. Thank you everyone. Stay safe and keep surfing. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.